High-rise buildings designed by Emile Aillaud. There are 1,600 apartments here. When first built, it was architecture ahead of its time.
I think this is one of the most fascinating complexes in the world, and it's right around the corner from where I live. There are buildings here that are really outstanding.
Laurent Kronental began to take a whole different view of these huge buildings after spending 6 months living in Beijing. He's now fascinated by life in the urban jungle. He's also interested in the people here, and he has taken time to win their trust.
Bonjour Arlette, vous allez bien?
Bonjour, monsieur.
75-year-old Arlette is now happy to open her home to him so that he can photograph her living room. He always works with a large format analog camera. The neighbor opposite also lets him in. He enjoys living here, especially because of the good relations with his neighbors.
There's always something going on. There's an unbelievable sense of solidarity. When I lost my wife, someone invited me to eat couscous with him. I didn't even know him. It was so totally unexpected and so kind.
Laurent Kronental's portraits of the residents have an artistic quality. There's a dignity about the people here. The complex has aged together with its inhabitants. Laurent feels it's like a forgotten colossus from another age.
My goal for Memory of a Future, which is the series that I've been working on for the past 4 years, is to show the parallels between the way the architecture has aged and the people who live there have aged. I want to shine the spotlight on a generation that is often marginalized. These apartment complexes are also looked down upon in our society.
This apartment complex in Paris is known as the People's Versailles, partly because it's a cheap place to live. Some of the residents can remember when the flats were first built.
40 years ago, this was all just fields. This was built around 76, 78.
Paris's banlieues have received a lot of negative press in recent years. Laurent Kronental is seeking to show a completely different side of the suburbs. His is not the view of an outsider.
Here we're in Courbevoie, which is where I grew up and where I still live now. It's in the La Défense area, and it's a very unusual building complex. It was my first source of inspiration for this project.
His photos went on display at a Paris culture center in March, but his work had long been noticed in social networks, finding fans around the world.
Getting noticed on the internet is rewarding, but getting to exhibit your work properly is the real goal.
The show will be followed by one in London, and the world is bound to see more from this photographer.